She said it was her toes, but I could tell her soul hurt. She was cold turk. Growing up, she got to know hurt very well in a world where self-hate is overt. Her stepfather thought he was Ike, so her mother used strike. She got to like-minded niggas who like crime and figures, doing white lines and liquor. See hard times and kicked her in the ass. It used to be thicker. Life is fast, some choose to be quicker. I remember in high school, she had the passion to sing. Now she see herself in a casket of dreams. These are the children of crack and rap, blacks that lack self-esteem. Yo, we forgot the dream on our Jefferson's yard, but we forgot the theme. In the Shy, we even rooting for a garbage team. This queen never seen herself on this corner. She still want to see California, but this is her world. Common sense. That's a bar. Let's go. That's a Bar podcast. You are back with us. This is going to be a dope episode. I got my homegirl who, you know, I spent a lot of years just building our relationship, knowing her for so long, and just her bars. Want to talk to her about all the things she got going on today. My homegirl, Lady Luck, is in the building today. So, yeah, that's going to be dope. We're going to talk about female hip hop today. We're gonna talk about bars. You know what I'm saying? You know where you at. You on That's a Bar podcast. This is the only one place where you're gonna have the appreciation like this, and we're just gonna sit here and be able to have conversations with my friends. And I seen some other dope podcasts too. My shout out to Rain. Rain got a bar podcast. They always talking about bars and lyrics. I love it. It's what I'm about. Home of the hip hop South Boogie. My name is Albe Back, and you're on That's a Bar, and this is Barcelona Times. All right, Barcelona Times. What we got? All right, yo, crazy. Wiz Khalifa, Sean Paul, and DaBaby. That's going to be a hot summer. I love that. Good vibes only. I love that. That's dope. And DaBaby has a super Barcelona mixtape that he just dropped called Please Say the Baby. Or Please Say Baby. Or Please Say the Baby. Something like that. But the mixtape's crazy. He's flowing Banoodles on that mixtape. So he is in our Barcelona Times. And then shout outs to Wiz Khalifa and Sean DePaul. Oh, come on. Eddie Murphy. It's going to be dope. I'm going to go to that. That's dope. You already know. 50 Cent Action Channel tops Roku and LG charts. Why wouldn't you believe that? Of course. We're so proud of you, Five. Keep going. I think the Action Channel is super dope, and it just showing movies that, you know, just further make the genre of cinema and street telling. And not only that, not only talk about the street, but just films that he associates with. Then he could just fit all of his sitcoms, all of his series right into the Fast Channel when they become their own. Man, yo, shouts to 50 Cent, man. That's super dope. Like, so now at this point, anytime he has a series that's went over like 5-6 seasons, he could put his own shows in syndication because he's already has movies in a channel that is surrounded by the same similar concepts. That's bars right there. Barcelona Times. Shout outs to 50 Cent. That's crazy. He got money. Money he got. You in New York? Yes. I just seen this Graph and Benny. Yo, when they get together, it's super dope. I love Graph and any kind of like collaboration too. Because Graph is such a dope MC and he comes up with these dope concepts. But then when you put him around even other swordsmen, his sword even just gets sharper. You know what I'm saying? And I appreciate this collab, and I just appreciate upstate New York and New York City just like standing together So that way when it's sonically in your ear, you could tell that it's all from the same place. You know what I'm saying? New York City. So like I feel like New York City is something that I grew up in, but not knowing all the tales of where Benny grew up from, but just hearing them together, I think is really, really dope. This is really fire. Shout outs to Graf. We got to get Graf on the show somehow, some way, because dude has been not only just doing it for years, forget that, he is always evolving. So if a new fan comes to Graf in 2026, 2027, you're always going to get like a project or something that's completely sounded different than when he started. He's an evolving rapper. His flow, his pocket, his taking chances, and I want to interview him. And of course, Benny. Shout out to Benny the Butcher. Shout outs to this. Yeah, new stuff. They said new stuff is on the horizon. Shout outs to Benny and Graf. And I'm sure we're probably gonna get them on the mic moments. But right now, serving up this mic moment, I had to put this in there. You know what? Just go to it.
Jaz the Rapper, Brooklyn. Look, yo, first off, I ain't doing no favors, bitch, my rent high. Yes, I've been burning shit down since left eye. I'm on flex, so I know the bar set high. I'm comfy anywhere, I'm walking around with chocolate thighs. All these bitches ass, who said they hard? Feeling myself, shit, I almost caught an essay charge. Man, you know why bitches hate me in the best way? Man, it's cause these niggas love me like chest day. Nah, it's cause these niggas love me like rest day. Nah, it's cause I give that city feel like with a Mets play. I gotta tell you some shit, cause it's just me and you. I wake up, see the Hollywood sign, I got a scenic view. I'm so high up, people little like Beatles do. Every damn morning, me and Jesus playing peekaboo. Peekaboo, I'm really that, I don't care if they don't get the hype. Peekaboo got that number one spot that they can never swipe. Bitches competing for number two and they got every right. And in my Babs Bunny voice, let them fight. They tell me I'm the golden girl, I feel like Betty White. Y'all fly spirit, y'all don't know about a steady flight. I'm here on a mission, it's fair to be tripping. I type JFK so much they think I'm a conspiracy theorist. Because it's back to the east side, then back to the west side, then back to the east side while I'm knocked on a red eye. It's Jaz, man. The army said be all you could be, man. Niggas shoot they shot in my message, I peep game. I tell them I don't check my DMs like T-Pain, cause they want no strings attached like the Wii game. What Snoop said, it ain't nothing but a G thing. Hey, I just want the money, you could keep fame. But let me tell y'all what I'm from and what I became. Look.
Yo. Lord. Now she just finished off that. She's fresh off the battle with Hollow the Dawn, and I feel like Hollow won that battle 2-1. Just on the sense of like I'm also not just Barcelona, but also style and flow. I like taking chances and all the stuff that he was breaking her down from. But now she's on Flex and just wilding. You know what I'm saying? Because niggas love me like chest day. And so it's like that's a line, because when we deal with bars, we deal with how you can make somebody think something in their brain when you just laid it for them. It's more like alley-oops sometimes. Sometimes bars are just alley-oops to the thought. You know what I'm saying? Like in my Baz voice, let them fight. Let them fight. Let them fight. Oh my gosh. Shout outs to Jaz the Rapper, and shout outs to her plight and how hard she's working. And she got my mic moment of the day. Damn, Jaz. That's what I'm talking about. Okay. We got our guest coming up soon, very shortly. I think we should check the junk mail. If I was the only one in this world. All right, Albe Back killed it. I like that. Damn, that was some spitting. Then along came join. Wow. Okay, this is dope. This is on the BT Cypher, and I did a BT Cypher with a cat named Muggsy and the other Harlem kid, Dougie Fresh's son, and his brother was there, and Jordan Lucas. And so it was all of us there. And Jordan Lucas was actually hosting that BET Cypher. And then he did so well that they was like, you know what? Let's put him on another cipher, right? So what happened was, I don't know. I think I signed the NDA. I don't think I could tell this story exactly. One of the sons had said something in his verse that was just like it was off to BT, and then there was some conversation, and he had to get off the show. So then the other brother had a chance to be able to just spit his rap, well, not his brother's verse, but just go in. And DJ Premier was there, and Muggs killed it too, and it was dope. I just thought their freestyles was crazy, crazy fire. That particular hip hop 2015 cipher was supposed to have Jordan Lucas in it. The same, I was supposed to be on the same one, and then I dropped some bars. What else we got in the junk mail? We got anything else? Just found your album on Spotify. What the fuck? It's fire. Who are you? And why you unheard of? Well, I left clues in my rap name. You know what I'm saying? I'll be back. So sometimes those people are unheard of because they be bouncing a lot. I bounce. I just be out. Sometimes I just be like, yo, to protect my mentality and my writing and the projects that I want to make, I get real in a secluded kind of place. But super dope. This was nice junk mail. See, sometimes in the junk, pause. All right. Once you pause, you'll be able to see the light. Bars. Is that it? Okay, that's cool because I really wanted to talk about me for a little bit. I have a lot of love that was given off the freestyle, off the last episode with Rory. Man, people just hitting me up. It's like, yo, that was dope. And that record is off this joint that I got with my man Meta. And Justin Raines produced that. And that's going to be crazy. We got a project that is phenomenal. And that was just one, we got so many joints. So I was like, let me show y'all what we got. But thank you so much. I appreciate you guys. I got to pay the bills, So this episode is brought to you by me. I spit truth all the time. I don't even want to spit that bullshit. I just spit bars to you. You know what I'm saying? Like this.
Your body.
I ask God why my feet and my hands so pink. Is there something here missing? Or we really a link to something or someone? This is me when I think. Holding the chosen gives you reason to sink. And the season that you see him go extinct in the blink. The lines in these hands are for a particular palm. I go calm and bomb at the end of her arm. Electricity is really the gunpowder of God. So we high as a kite in the eye of the storm. That's why we either strike or we feel distraught. And we find another flight to deliver in us. We arrive, then we climb up inside of a bus. Then we travel to a cabin that inhabited plush and leave the baggage because we actually just practice a trust. What?
With a loving intention, holding a finger stimulates and opens up your streams of electrons, frequencies, and vibrations.
And we're back. You see how I did that? Bars all the time, no matter what. I think she's here. Luck be your lady tonight. Hey, we got Luck be that lady tonight.
What's going on, my brother?
What's going on, Lady Luck?
Ah, man, doing my best. How's everything? I didn't get a chance to put no makeup on. My face got a little pregnant, so
Yeah.
y'all might see that,
Yeah, no, praise God.
Oh, it's beautiful. What's going on, y'all?
How did you get that name?
Lady Luck. Okay, so my rap name used to be Infinity. And then in high school, one day, this guy was like, yo, I heard you on the radio, but I wasn't on the radio. And somebody else was named Infinity. And it's the time that Hoodlum came out. And I was like, I loved Lucky Luciano. So we played with the name and then we came up with Lady Luck. Has nothing to do with the casino because I never hit big there, ever. I donate to the state.
Never once, never blackjacked and went, wow.
No, I mean I go there and I have a good time. Just put it like that. I have a good time gambling and giving back to the state.
No, it's such an iconic song, It's
Mhm.
Luck be a lady. I think we all thought that's where you got it from.
No.
You
Yeah.
never thought about sampling that, or just
Well,
like
actually, shout out to Nick Wiz. Nick Wiz, he's a dope producer from Jersey. He's done a lot of music with a lot of people, and we sampled that years ago.
yeah.
Nick Wiz.
Yeah, it was one of those things where I was like, she's from Jersey, man. And you just don't know. You just like just the Jersey rappers always have layers to their own story.
Mm.
There's layers. I mean, I know there's bars. Tretch was one of the illest MCs. I feel that's so underrated.
And you know what's so funny about Tretch? There's a guy named Mike C. Rest in peace. And like me, I have so many, like you said, layers to hip hop because I grew up around all of this. And there's a guy named Mike C who's nicer than Tretch. Now imagine that being possible. And Mike C was his big brother. And he's from Jersey. And to the day that he left, Mike, you get him, you can look up. I think Redman had him on his page one day. I'll find the video and I'll send it to you. But Mike C was absolutely amazing. But we have some really incredible talent from Jersey. You know what I mean?
Even if you list them, right, down to Sue Surf, every Jersey rapper could kind of do something else. Like
So
Tretch was a good actor.
Tretch is an amazing actor.
Queen is a great actress.
Amazing actor.
Joe Buttons is he's a potter. You know what I mean?
He's a talker. He's a chatty patty.
Harry Potter. You know
He's
what I mean? Do you remember your first verse?
Okay, so backstory. I was my mom, obviously you guys know the Sugar Hill Gang. My mom was outside, whether it be promoting albums or something like that. And one night listening to WBLS, or was it 98.7? It definitely was BLS, but I want to say I think it was Red Alert. And he was playing Milkish, Chillin', Gizmos, Illin'. And I stayed up all night, wrote on a manila folder, cat, bat, rat, anything that could rhyme. My mother got home when the sun was coming up, and I told her I wanted to rap. And for years, I went around, my name is Chanel, but you could call me Nelly. My favorite sandwich is peanut butter and jelly. I might be young, but I'm here to say I'm the best little rapper in the USA. USA. You got that? Now, at my age, and with his voice after all these packs of Newports, it don't sound cute, but you 5 years old running around town, that's blowing everybody's mind. And then my cousin came to me one day. He was like, okay, we need a new rap. So my cousin is the one that inspired me to start writing and getting into it. We had a Teddy Ruxpin doll, so we would take tapes and re-record over it. And yeah, it was
please, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this thing called My Generation. We had a doll. His name was Teddy Ruxpin. They sold it on TV. They only sold it on commercials to white kids, but we wanted one too. Some of us had Teddy Ruxpin cousin, like the Teddy Lion and stuff. that was a whole nother Chinatown conversation. When I'm telling you right now, Teddy Ruxpin, if you had that bear in your crib, you was able to talk to the animal.
And he played cassette tapes. So he
played cassette tapes. So you put Biz Markie in there.
Yeah, he's rapping.
He was singing Just a Friend.
Yeah.
On.
And then we had a Casio. We had a Casio computer. So I mean Casio keyboard.
So Teddy was spitting your lyrics.
Yeah. And we was
that's how she had her first demo off the Ruxpin.
Yo, I was recording when I didn't have a studio after school. My 8th grade teacher, Mr. Zach, he was a science teacher. He had a system in the student in his class, and you could double cassette tape. After school, I would get the microphone and I would record with the beat on one tape, then take that tape, put it in there, have another tape, and that's how I did overdubs, ad libs. I still got these cassettes. I just bought a Walkman recently. Mm-hmm.
Yo.
My history is so deep with this shit. Like,
Your documentary would be phenomenal just to see this young girl go from apparently, just inspired from Milk is Chillin', and
Beyond that, my
yeah,
mom
no, but
had,
of course your mom, of course, no, definitely in the bloodline, but just when the light turns on for you, what was that verse that when you listen to over and over and over again, it made you like go like, I don't want to hear anything else. Like this is the verse of all time. When did that first happen for you? Like for me, I would say, Can I Live was just like out of control. You know what I'm saying? I have a lot of Nas verses that did that to me, but like when I heard Reasonable Doubt, even before that, when we was listening to Big L, when I heard, I got more keys than janitors, I was like,
you want to hear the verse that I wrote after I listened to the Illmatic album? I still remember that verse.
let me hear that. Where was your mind there?
My microphone is blessed. One skills like strippers undress, putting rappers to the test. My tribe is on a quest to seek the best. Speakers bumping grinds so they get lyrically sex. Y'all can smoke like cess. We make crowds bounce like checks. Whack MCs I could detect. It's never been a show that we ain't wrecked. Hold up a sec. While Scholar, Enigma, and Infinity rip through all facilities with these freestyle abilities on instrumentals or symphonies. Infinity mortals through all centuries. Is you feeling me? I wreck shop if you let me and leave MCs dizzy like epilepsy. Come and test me and tell me who the best be. Enigma, Scholar, Infinity, ill collaboration. Flow like precipitation, flow hard like constipation. Like Janet feeling the rhythm of our nation. Infinity give birth to eternal creation. The illest of persuasions. Now you need to get
Oh, Little Luck.
In the 90s, kids.
That was Little Luck. That was Little Luck, y'all. Nah, that was Barcelona. That was archive. That's museum shit.
I was in a group.
Love to hear, yo. You know what I'm saying?
Shout out to the group members, yeah.
Like we had one of those clips we was gonna use in Barcelona News when we saw Biggie at like 14. You know what I'm saying? Just going through the projects, and when we fell in love. This is also a relationship, I think. I mean, to the point where when you care about bars so much, you wouldn't even repeat a bar. Like there's so many people that know you now that had no idea who you were in that first album, but you would never even repeat a bar because you respect it so much.
I mean, it's so many people who I've been inspired by. Like I said, with my mom, I know I couldn't stop listening to Rapper's Delight. You know what I mean? Since she left, she performed it everywhere.
Let me ask you a question about that. Like, my father, me and my dad never really got a chance to talk about rap. My real father, not the man that raised me since I was 11, was from the Last Poets, but my real father, we never really got a chance to talk like that. He used to always just rap Rapper's Delight, like that's all he really knew. You know what I'm saying? And then later, I'm in the back of the Wedge strip club, and then I'm over there down by in Hunts Point with Grandmaster Caz playing 2K7. You know what I'm saying? And he's like, and my dad used to always say, he used to always talk about Grandmaster Caz as well, because we're Bronx natives. And so tell me your interpretation of that part. That must have been kind of like cool as well, to be raised under this record that was so big for hip hop, but it having a layer of a ghostwriter that nobody ever knew, and then you later becoming kind of writing for people that people don't even know. So talk to me about like what you think about Cass and that song, and then talk to me about the idea of just writing for people in general.
I was too young to know the logistics of everything and to know the science of it, until obviously I became an artist, and obviously later on, like paperwork and stuff of that nature. But as a kid, you always heard people calling them the Robertsons, or like people will call, people will always, they just made up nicknames and stuff. Like my aunt's was Robin, my aunt, my uncle, and whatever, Sugar Hill. Then when you get older, it's like, I ain't got a dog in that fight.
No,
And
as an
then
MC, just
you're
as an
right, as an MC, right? But as an MC, because I just know that we all done went to war with my mama said on A&E. You know what I mean? As far as being an MC, that didn't bother me because y'all don't know how many of the greatest records that y'all love and the greatest verses that y'all ever loved have similar backgrounds. You know what I mean? Like so many. So it's like y'all put together these Mount Rushmores, and these Mount Rushmores have a team of writers. So it's like music is music. I look at rap the same way I look at R&B now. Like a good song is a good song. You know what I mean? Like
no, yeah,
the people who care about me and you writing the lyrics, that era is dead. Me and you standing on the corner and who got the hottest verse and all that, like they don't care about that. You know what I'm saying?
no. Hey, Grandmaster Cass is an amazing MC. Just he deserves the nod.
Let's do.
You know, just like the nod he deserves. Like, yo, that's the nod. It doesn't matter the performer or all that. You know, I can't hear that song any other way.
Right.
I can't really. You know what I'm saying? So like in my that's in my brain. Do you feel like working and collabing, you hold punches back? Do you feel like you swing full swing with your verses and you kind of punches back with collaborations?
Okay, if I'm rapping on the track is Lady Luck or I'm writing, either
You're
or, I
writing.
want it to be out the park. So I'm gonna give my all. And I prefer, you know, I've worked more with R&B artists and pop and you know that type of thing. And I feel like that is just a whole nother world. I find that to be way more exciting than, you know, writing.
Bars.
Yeah. I find that to be amazing.
Rory was on last episode and he was like, yo, yeah, I get the wow factor more from like R&B records than I do. What R&B song you feel is like
Me, I love music. So I love the effort that goes into it. So like the things that everybody's not listening to, you know, the harmonies and how the record is laid and how the production of a song, you know, like I'll appreciate a song differently than somebody else. So the part that I find fun is not just the lyrics, but how we are delivering them lyrics, how many vocals we're gonna have on top of that. Where does that lead? You know what I mean? Like I'm more into the production, the meat and potatoes of it.
yeah,
So, like to answer your question, right now, this might not be the most lyrical song, or you know, just thinking off the top of my head, a song that I feel like is a great production is Janet Jackson. Does it matter what your parents told you? By her and Rockwaller. The production on that, the vocal arrangement on that is absolutely insane. Now, of course, there's others, but when you ask me that question, that's the first song that came to mind.
No, phenomenal.
The way the vocals is stacked and the way everything,
They wigged on that. Yeah, you had a Janet line in your old raps that you said like Rhythm Nation. You had like a Janet line right there. What was it about Janet that you picked up from that you like you know that you love so much?
Well, that's Mike's little sister. You know what I mean? That's
you talking about Jenny. No, I get it.
You know, I was just about to say that.
I'm talking about just her.
I love how she broke off. Yeah, I love how she broke off. I love what her, Terry, and them did. I just love Janet's music from the 90s. And again, with the vocal arrangement, she might not have been Whitney Houston, you know, another person who had amazing vocals in the background. So I mean,
but Whitney couldn't dance like Janet. Remember there was a back and forth between Paula Abdul and Janet, and then Janet was like, "Nah, I gotta."
Janet had better records. Janet had better records. Paula was out there dancing with the cat. Come on. Come on.
Before animation, before AI was AI yet.
See,
Go see that video.
So I'm an artist, but I'm also a student of the game. And like so sometimes when I don't know certain things in music, like I pride myself on having a vast knowledge of it. And I'm always learning and wanting to expand because I don't know everything. Because growing up, my mother didn't play a lot of that rock and all of that other stuff that I'm learning to appreciate now. But I just always been a student of music in the game. So recently, the theme behind my new videos that I'm putting them out is "Aha, I went somewhere." So when we go somewhere, we shoot videos. So I got a video in LA right now for my song Free. I'm Free. The song I got Praise, we shot that down in Miami and Fort Lauderdale. And my new song that we got Search, we shot that in Rome and in Greece. So, but it's us. We renegading. My girl get the camera. We arguing. They calling security on us. We in the museum rapping, and they ready to kick us out. I lost my drone in Venice. So
I love Venice.
Yeah, so, you know,
Hold on. I kind of got to get a visual. Let's see that right now, really quick.
Wherever there's love, you there. Wherever there's peace, you there. Big bright clouds, sunny skies, I can see you there. When someone smiles, think of you. Even rain's beautiful. We see you are everything, and that everything is you. Got a new angel to guide me, that's always sticking by me. My motivation for living, my lily of the valley. My star, sun, and moon that left this planet too soon. But we gon' celebrate you, baby. You know how we do. To tell the truth.
No matter how far away from these arms, you still live in my heart.
Rest in peace, rest in paradise to the beautiful queen. Your mom, she treated me with always love and respect. And you guys are just more than friends and mother and daughter. You guys were like an inspiration to people. You know, and I didn't have that growing up. I didn't get to have that. Whew, my heart went once I heard the news, and we was all there for you, you know. So, and I love that idea, and that is a bar. If we're going to Rome, you know, let's bring mommy there, you know. So that way, anytime anyone sees me there, they remember this song.
I didn't put it in the video, but everywhere we went, because my mom, her wishes was to be cremated. So everywhere we went. Everywhere, so she's, you know, she's everywhere.
You're so dope. You're so dope. As a daughter, you know, I don't think any people say that enough, you know, because I have daughters. You know, you want them to ride for you. You know what I'm saying? You want them to feel, you know, every kid kind of grows up in their kind of like parent shadow, and here your mom was so influential to hip hop. And here this thing is on your shoulders, and you're going into these battles at a young age, not just with Remy Ma, as well the battle that we know, even though there's some lines in that. You said a line in a freestyle recently about the industry, like not fucking with you because you were gay. Like you were gay before gay gayed.
Before gay gayed.
And we loved you for it. You were just our sister, and you know, you just spit fire. You were always a great time in the studio. You and I met outside of Perfections. No, we didn't meet outside Perfections. We met
we met somewhere else, and then I see.
Yeah. I think the Perfections was just that one moment in time with us where.
Ladies and gentlemen, I was outside, okay? I was outside. I was selling nutcrackers. I was selling weed. I was managing the girls. I was driving them home. So I'm outside working, all right? Bills is due. My man comes outside. You know how the men come outside the strip club. It's like the air feels different to them for a second now. They just had a great time in there. I was like, yo, Al, man, buy a CD.
Buy a CD. That's right. And she said, I said, I ain't got no cash. I gave it all away.
I want to tell a story about being in Perfections. I never shared with nobody.
Barcelona Times. What happened and who did it happen to?
Neo. And I stopped liking Neo. And now Neo is corny as hell to me. And this is for 1,000 years now.
Because shout out to Poly Life. Was that Neo? Is it the same Neo I'm talking about?
And I don't know who's sharing that on.
No love songs, Neo.
Yeah, now Neo got a trailer load of threes. But anyway, so he's in the club, right? And Camilo shout me out because I'm in there. I told you I'm in there every night. These are my guys. I know him for
Monday to Thursday.
Yeah, I know him in there. So shout out to Lady Luck. And then all of a sudden I see dollar bills flying over my head. So I'm like, who's this? I turn around and I see Neo and he's making it rain, but there's nobody there but me, like standing, below the VIP. The VIP was here, I'm walking by and the money went over. And then he said, And it was just the corniest shit ever because, like, I ain't never met you, dude. I ain't never did nothing to you. This is in the thick of the battle with me and Remy, and they had a record together. So if Remy don't know anybody who was riding for her, it was that RB nigga, and I used to like Neo.
I don't know what to think about that.
I don't either. Yo, I'm not gonna sit here and tell you all the weirdo stories. It's been weirdo stories.
No, let's talk about this though. The industry was a certain way when you were coming up, and I think that's what the initial question was before.
Went to a tangent.
And it was so different, and they shut you out because you wouldn't do the weirdo shit. Now the weirdo shit is sort of on display as far as being first, being not about the craft. You stood toward the craft. You stood toward making music and just getting better and getting stronger, which I deeply appreciate. I just wanted to know, like, how do you feel about where it is, and do you see the irony in the weirdos kind of like coming to roost and it kind of like washing away? What do you feel like?
See, like me being a grown woman now, right? And me being outside the matrix, like there's a lot of things that friends that you hold close to your heart is dead ass wrong about. Um, it's things that happen and see, like nobody's gonna take accountability, right? So I said this on another pod. When I was growing up, I'm in 8th grade. I see bitches ain't shit but hoes and tricks, right? Now the guys the age, that song ain't for them, but they influenced by rap, so they treat the girls like that. And then as we grow older, and hip hop is growing older with us, it is telling the boys to treat these girls like bitches and sluts. And then we have female rappers who's like, I'm fucking this nigga, I'm getting this clothes. So now when I go to school, there's a girl next to me who got a chinchilla. And all of the things that these girls is rapping about when I'm younger, I'm seeing it happen in real time in front of me. Right? So now these girls get pregnant by these niggas who think they ain't shit. We had eras where we talking down on our women. Dolores Tucker fought before, and now bitch and nigga is ran through and is rampant, right? See, we started selling drugs in the music. Then we started to do a little lean. Then we started to pop a little pills. But we knew what we were doing. But every generation emulates the one before, and they do it a little different. So now when you asking why these boys is wearing tight ass pants and why these boys ain't on the same page as us, because see, with our generation, we were still checked by the elders. We were still taught to respect the music, respect the elders. That's why we know all that music. We didn't do that for them. We acted a fool. We still acting, my nigga. The message has not changed in hip hop. And somebody could call me crazy if they want.
Oh, many people call you crazy, but that's because you have to be.
I got a record deal. I was a girl from New Jersey. I was a nice girl. I rapped about teen pregnancy, all that on my demo. I got a record deal. They told me I was going to be a gangster rapper. And they put the baseball cap on me. And they told me that's what I'm going to do. So now I'm a gangster. Now, Albe, you heard my last freestyle. So when you see me, you're going to treat me like a gangster. So now everybody's treating me like a gangster. What I got to do? Be a gangster. Tekashi, Tupac, and so many others. So then now I have become this person that I was not. So now these kids, they the same ones who daddy ain't there, because remember, bitches ain't shit but hoes and tricks. Remember that. So now the generation that was influenced by everything we did is where we at. So when you ask me how I feel about music and where we at right now, I'm disappointed in us.
I think art is meant for a time ago. I feel like there's going to be verses in life that we're going to get from artists in the museum of who we are today, years from now. That, like Picasso's paintings wasn't really as much as they are now. Mozart, all these people, art is usually for when the value goes up because you can't recreate that anymore. I think just being able to quantize art was a nuance that humans probably shouldn't have even done to begin with. So 1998, we had a lot of money in hip hop.
Yo,
Talk your shit, Mom.
y'all still discussing who did he fucking? I wanna know when Bigger Pop died and he pushed the button. It's disgusting, seen a lot of y'all hit women for nothing. And y'all bitches anyway, around each other don't be the toughest. My people, I love us, but we the reason why we suffer. And an apology to Dolores Tucker. How we mad at Rick Ross going performing for the POTUS? He put a molly in her drink, took advantage, and she ain't noticed. They said bitches ain't shit, got drills for the tip. Time we stop being hypocrites, cut the shit and get focused. Anger misplaced while we standing in place. Other colors running together, so they call it a race. We stuck together like them, they couldn't play in our face. But hey, lucky no getting deep. Pause, don't put them to sleep. Industry secrets I keep. Why? These niggas is creeps. Sway I got a release, ain't been to therapy in weeks. I was 17 in high school, remind you. But pimps and pedophiles, it's just the niggas I'm signed to. Got blackball buried in all of the dirt I climbed through. Fine tune, ready to tell my story, it's time to.
I was just 17 with pimps and pedophiles. Remind you, these are just the niggas I was signed to. Yo, people don't like to say the ugly truth. 1998 was DMX. You know what I'm saying? It's the truth, like, huh? You know what I'm saying? Like, what we doing? It was a lot. That was real crazy, thing to think about. Just, because you my sister. You know what I'm saying? So I've always considered you that. We've always been that close. Even though we did a dope ass skit on my Rafael De La Ghetto album, where we was a couple, that was hilarious. Go cop that album. But when I hear that, I'm like, well, I didn't know that. Like, you know what I'm saying? I didn't know. I mean, I know the game is the game, but I didn't know you was it was in your story. I love that you got it there. That you went to a freestyle. I think a lot of young people, just guys and girls in general, like, don't get to hear the ugly side of the business because people just sugarcoat it like, I got money, I got this, I got that.
It's no mystery. Like, Lady Luck was supposed to be you, and then she wasn't. And then there's a lot of reasons and things for that nature. So
I also know you as someone that likes to move the party. You know what I'm saying? You also love making like uplifting songs and uplifting records that you could just ride to, you could clean the house to. You know what I mean? One thing I remember is when you was getting in your techno bag, not techno bag, but just, I remember you rhyming just a little faster and just on some, before Jersey had that, sound, you were experimenting over there. I just love the fact that you're able to be honest and open and raw on records. Is the project more like that these days?
The current project that I had worked on is called Yahweh. Basically, at the time frame that I was in this space, well, I always give thanks to Yahweh, God. And so at this point in time, I was just compelled to put together a project, A, that is not like anything that's out right now, and B, to make songs for people like me that's forgotten, because the Christian church will, shun people maybe because of their preference, their lifestyle, or things of that nature. Like, I've brought murderers to church. I've brought tons of strippers to church. I've brought so many different people to church. And just for those people who feel like they left out or forgotten, you don't have to go through the church to have a relationship with Yahweh. So I got a project that is we about to throw out the song I'm Free. That's the single from there, and Praise, that's single from there. And I'm gearing up to put the project out.
Now let's go right into I'm Free. I love this joint.
No, I'm a prophet, but highly favored. Though I chase profit, won't sell my soul for no paper. Still show love to them haters, loving my neighbor like I love self. Calling my savior when I need help. When it get dark, tighten my belt. Know that you got me. When them bills stacked high, collect every tear I cry. When there's no help side, know you still by my side. Yeah, if you believe, all you really need, faith of a mustard seed. Whoever the son, he set free, then he's free indeed.
Relax, believe, hold fast and praise, love is peace. I'm free, I'm free.
Freedom comes with a responsibility. That was a bar that my pops used to say. He used to say, and blame no one for my misery, because I'll be strong to turn it around. I want to go up. I'm not going down. Do you feel more free now than you were when you first came in the game?
Yeah, I feel more free as a human being. I actually feel like I'm starting from ground zero, which is actually crazy because you know, somebody on my prayer line, we have a prayer line every Saturday, free ministry. We still on 10 a.m. And this young lady had lost her mother, and she said that she felt like her life was an etch-a-sketch, and someone took it and shook it. And she's starting from ground zero. And that's the best way that I can describe it. I have to learn this new person that I am. I have to learn, you know, this new Twilight Zone dimension. We talked about it the other day, whatever dimension this is. So I feel more free. And then on top of that, I've learned too much about the industry. I've learned too much about how things work. I've learned too much. So I feel like free from the matrix, at least unplugging and breaking away from it. So yeah.
Shout out to my man Yakin has this clothing line called The Matrix Dropout. That moment in the Truman Show where he touches the wall and he says, "Oh,
yeah." Like I got into it with one of my homeboys the other day because he comes here and, you know, he has this distribution situation and he's like, yo, let's put the music out. I refuse to put it up any more music on the streaming sites. I refuse. We're, you know, working on a new innovative way to go directly to the consumer. You know what I mean? DTC or whatever they DTC, whatever, because it's like I made more money, Albe, when I was tapping going outside, right? I showed my homeboy, he arguing with me to put the music out. You got to have streaming. You got to do both. And I'm like this. I have 1.5 million, 1.55 million streams on just one of the sites, right? Since 2011. A million plus almost 2 million streams. It's $12,000 to $12,200 something dollars.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
You got 12,000. Do you got it now? Because I was going to ask you if I could hold something.
That I said since 2011, so I don't even know if it's $90 a year. I don't know what they doing. You get what I'm saying? And then what TuneCore just did recently, I had an album up for about 10, 12 years, and they said we're taking it down because of streaming issues. Like somebody, you know, did the streaming. But what I found out is that when they do that, they keep all the bread that came from it.
Right.
There's nobody you could trust. Distro Kid, all of them, CD Baby, they just got bought up by Universal. So I'm like, if you're gonna break away from the Matrix, you gotta go back to the essence. I saw this girl on Instagram acting like she just found out something crazy. You gotta sell it to people. I said, girl, I've been outside every every football game, every college, every tailgate.
Well, we watched it, right? We was there from making our tapes popping and us grabbing scotch tape just so we could hear more music. To our CD scratching and using toothpaste so that we could hear more music. To downloading, you know, the Vanessa Del Rio because you was trying to get this other record and they were doing porn / it was mad like China stuff that was happening with Kazaa and stuff like that. We was getting like downloads from everything. It wasn't Soulja Boy really revolutionized the idea of like, calling his album Britney Spears album and getting the numbers to run up, which was phenomenal. Then we went to the blog era where, you know, Two Dope Boys, all hip hop and all those moments. And shout outs to 50 Cent. This is 50 came out when he was doing that. And who's that Dr. Fauci of the streaming? Who's that person? We got to find the name of the dude that was like, listen, somebody turned this thing on where they said, this is this much. It has to be a somebody.
It was a slow merge, but shout out to all the artists who tore the game up. I saw one artist who he ain't even make no real music. He just had streaming farms. I think they went after his ass. Shout out to the people who made blank albums and put it out. Like shout out to everybody. They had blank albums just with space and run phones all day. So shout out to them because these streaming services is definitely robbing the artists. So shout out to them.
Yo, what's interesting is you can't even say you went platinum anymore. You don't even know what that is. When somebody goes platinum, it's just like, what does that even feel like? It doesn't even feel like anything because everything is right there for consumption. I think that just made the competition a lot. It broke that down too because a lot of people was cheating the other ways too. So I'm not on streaming platforms like that either. I'm on YouTube so we can have these conversations, and then I'm doing some other things with my life. But I feel like when it comes to album, I use Bandcamp. Bandcamp, and then let people just kind of like, donate and feel good about just purchasing something and appreciating it that way. I used to go on Tuesdays to cop a new project. What I used to love about albums and buying albums was the album cover, and it also had the lyrics in it. And I think that changed my life. I think we're here on That's a Bar because of those parts in the album where you get to read the lyrics. This segment right here is called Mount Bars More, and I'm playing it with Lady Luck right here on That's a Bar. Let's go.
It's hip-hop's Lizzo, really with the shits though, cause the flute case got the thing with extendos. My live on do say, fuck what you and you say, paralyze your engineer and upload the bootlegs.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's Albe. He's here. He's back. Made sure my rap name was a bar. You understand? That's what I care about. And right now I'm about to ask Lady Luck, who is her Mount Rushmore versus, because I don't care who's her top 4 favorite rappers.
Okay.
I don't care about them.
And you said we're going to do female edition, right?
Female edition. What are the verses that most hit you and why? Let's hear it.
Okay. I want to say that she's had a lot of iconic verses, but this one just went so crazy in the club, and it's a tie. It's a tie between two of her verses, but I went with this one, and that's hot damn hole. Here we go again. Light as a rock, bitch. Hot as a cot, bitch. Okay, okay. So when Kim on Quiet Storm came on, it was absolutely crazy in the club. That was the era when I was running around DC and the DMV area partying, and I was in the club first time I heard that, and it was nuts. It's between that verse and her verse on Benjamin's.
Okay. That's one.
Yes.
One.
That's one of them.
Yeah.
No particular order. Good.
Okay. Someone play Young Lauren like she dumb, but remember not to gain new under the sun. Everything you did has already been done. I know all your tricks from bricks to Kingston. This verse in Lost Ones is like, I was hopeless, now I'm on Hope Road. Not too many people who knew that the Marleys lived on Hope Road. It was coming at Wineclef, you know what I'm saying? But it was more like she was coming at everybody to me. I felt like everybody had to understand that she wasn't playing games. Now, of course, there's some controversy about her lyrics, but when you listen to the second verse, now, how come your talk turned cold? Gain the whole world for the price of your soul, trying to grab hold, but you can't control. Now you are floss with a sight to behold. Wisdom is better than silver and gold. I was hopeless, now I'm on Hope Road. Every man want to act like he's a kid.
Where did Hope Road get her? And where did Hope Road get her?
No, 100%. Hey, that's what it got her at the time. It got her 5 Grammys. It got her. I think it was more than that. We could fact check me. It got that project.
All right. You're talking about the project. Okay. I was talking about who lived on. Okay. But
yeah, no, I understand.
My verse, I was gonna do a Lauren verse. There was a verse that she had on the first Fuji album at the end, but I couldn't remember it. I wanted to do verses that I know off the top of my head. Wait. I play my enemies like that's where I rest. No stress, don't help stress. Yes, I must confess my enemies manifest with some Gore-Tex and sweats. I make tracks like I'm homeless. You know what I'm saying? Rap orgies. That's when, okay, County Bounty like Elliot. That's when we was all rapping like that. Like I was rapping, you know what I'm saying? Like that was that era. That was that era where everybody was showing how intelligent they are. So, you know, I've been a Fugees fan. Shout out to Jersey.
My second verse is Foxy Brown, Affirmative Action.
See, we got the same people. That wasn't my next one, but we love the same people. Okay. We talking about
the 62 ain't got a crew. We about to do my whole team shit hard like Zon. Foxy Brown, I'm gonna make it Escobar. Keep the fat Marquis piece, lacing all the illa snake skin. That was crazy. And then she did a bunch of math on there.
Shout out Fox Boogie though. Shout out
Fox
Fox.
Boogie.
I was a Fox fan. Shout out to
I'm
Fox.
super Fox fan. And I think because of her ad libs too. I don't think. I mean, Kim had them, but we understood it because Big had it. But when Fox would be like, it was like, yo,
You know what? Can I tell you a crazy Lady Luck moment as a fan, like not as a rapper? So one day I went to the barbershop, I rapped in there, right? And one guy, he was like, "Oh, shorty, you rapping about, champagne, buy me a bottle." So I went next door and somebody bought the bottle for me. I gave them some money because I was selling mixtapes. Shout out DJ AP. I came back, popped the bottle, everybody went crazy. So now all the guys in there, they taking me to the famous people whose hair they cut. So I met Fat Joe and them, and I met Tito. I like it like that. I met him, and then on my 17th birthday, they took me to Lil' Kim house. So I low seasoned them. I met them first, and then like through that month of December, I was going back and forth with about to sign the Queen Bee. So in January, I rapped on the radio. And Def Jam knew that I was such a big Foxy Brown fan. So now there was a small bidding war, like, Bad Boy, all this other stuff. They had Foxy calling me and telling me, like, yo, to sign a Def Jam. And then I had Lil' Kim calling me. And Lil' Kim is like, yo, what's up? Calling back. So I got both my favorite female rappers on my answer machine. I'm like, ah! Super duper fan moment, man. Shout out
Crazy.
Foxy.
That's crazy. That's going viral for sure. Sitting on top of 50 grand in the Nordic.
Kim may speak to me for years.
And so what happened? So you went with Def Jam because of Foxy?
Nah, I told Kim too. I said, Kim, no offense, but like y'all got the mansion up there in Alpine. My family on welfare. We can't move in with you because at the time they had the mansion, but everybody was there. Lil C's had a bedroom. D-Rock had a bedroom. Shout out Brish. Brish had a bedroom. You know what I'm saying? Lost. Everybody was there. I was like, yo, we got roaches, my guy. Like
that was a part of making the Bad Boy. He had the same model the whole time. He's like, everybody going to the joint. I feel like Foxy, even attempting, or any female, any of y'all, attempting to be in a group with Nas and AZ is out of control.
Now, Foxy, I loved Foxy from the first time I heard it. The first time I heard Foxy, she was on the remix with Shy. And I used to lie and say that was me, and they didn't believe me. 8th grade. But
you stole bars.
Yeah. I was like, oh, that's me. I was playing them because nobody knew who Foxy was at the time. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is when Bad Boy was dropping off cereal boxes with total with they cassette tape in it.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
That's interesting. But let's go back to the moment you turned the radio off and you don't really sound like her. Did anybody go? Did anybody go, nah, nigga?
They knew right away. Like, nobody even believed my life. I had the Walkman, like, look what I did. And they was like, that's not you, nigga. Like, you don't even sound like this bitch. It called me out, man. So I had to get my own shit.
That's that Pav Train life. Shout outs to New Jersey. I love you guys. Not really. Because you guys, the traffic, the cops.
You're disgusting. You're in New York City.
What are you
talking about?
Really
5 years of my life in traffic. What are you talking about? New Jersey has traffic. Where?
It's just like, ugh. I'm allergic to Jersey, actually. I'm allergic to start sneezing. No reason. I always thought Staten Island was like a baby Jersey.
Nah, that's all y'all. And
y'all can have. I mean, Wu-Tang forever. You know what I'm saying? Wu-Tang forever. But I always felt like Staten Island was like a baby Jersey. You don't feel like that?
That's y'all. Shout out Shaheem. That's y'all. That's New York City.
Shaheem was from Staten Island.
Yeah.
One of the greatest young MCs ever. Let's go back to this list on your Mount Rushmore. Who's number 3?
See, I love Foxy. Foxy. So I have so many of them. But the ones that y'all would know, what up, Pop? Brace yourself as I ride on top, rolls your eyes. You know what I'm saying? Right out your socks. But I love that whole album because I'm into Fox Boogie Brown is bad as hell when she did Rock the Bells. Now that rock, you know what I mean? So I love that whole album. Yeah.
Fox is up there. Give me another one. Give me another female verse that, just like change things for you. rap wise.
Nicki Minaj monster verse, and I don't want to say to change things because this is late. This is later, but Nicki wasn't fucking playing on that goddamn monster remix. Yo, I would say that's some of my top 3 female verses of all time. That Nicki wasn't playing, and even before I was cool with her, like I had to give for her props on that verse. Like no, the kids call it glazing. No glazing. That verse is stupid. Yeah.
First things first, I eat your brains.
And I'm starting.
My favorite Nicki verse was I just love the fixate. Which bitch you know made $1 million off a mixtape? Where she was like M6 in front of M2. Remember M2? I see a lot of rap bitches on the menu.
I love the Good Morning verse. You know what I mean?
Like I was out of control.
Came up in a little stuff said, but the Dyke and the Queen, the Alexander McQueen. Like those 2 verses for me. Those verses for me.
She was wilding that summer. Trey
was stupid.
Trey? Yo.
Yeah, nah, she was stupid.
Keys to the Benz. She's like Wiggins. She was Andrew Wiggins. But then even later, like I like her joint with Fabio. I'm not gonna put that on my Mount Rushmore female verses, but I would go with because of Up All Night, because of the complexities of what we needed to feel during that time with the Young Money stamp and Drake. Nicki and Up All Night was like big in New York City. That joint rocked. And just like I think Up All Night in a club, the way she comes on in the club, I just love that verse. So that's on top female.
Club. If we go for club, I love when Truffle Butter came on. You know what I'm saying? Ooh, you talking about being in the club? Come on.
Yo, shout out to Nicki Minaj because Nicki Minaj she could bar you up, or she could be in a club setting, and she could make music for like in the background of a movie. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like she has the, you know what I mean? She has the versatility. I don't know. Like my 4th one, I want to say, who you calling a bitch? UNITY. I think because of the storytelling.
Right.
I punched him dead in his eye. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I really feel like in regards to female MCs, and of course Jean Grey has one for me that was phenomenal. And today on our mic moment, we just played Jaz the Rapper. Shouts to her. I feel like
that was stupid on Flex.
Yeah. I feel like there's not enough storytelling in female rapping. And not enough. Like there's not enough, today's agenda got the suitcase up in the Centra. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if Lotto and them are really diving into that in their albums, but
nobody's rapping about anything now. It's glorified prostitution. And I do have an honorable mention.
Only song.
There is a Lady Luck verse that I did when I was on Sirius Radio. And money, power, respect, won't settle for nothing less. So that verse, you can go find that, Brittany. You can pull that up. That is an incredible verse from Lady Luck.
Yeah, money, power, respect, won't settle for nothing less. Not a jeweler, but I put that precious metal on your neck. Chest, arm, leg, head, the guard's hair. Beside it with the flow, kind of bars and barbaric. Authentic, got it sewn like I'm Dawn knitting. Refuse to argue with broke, ignorant ball bitches. I ball bitches, WNBA, Dame Dash back in the day. I bubble with the yay. Promoters see us coming and say trouble on the way. I'm humble, play it safe, timber 10.8 on the rector. Yes, sir, luck is Hannibal Lecter. Dexter ain't gotta like her, but we'll respect her. Pussy look like the top on Uncle Fester. Clean, no caps like small letters. War is art class, we all drawing together. Only competition, pretty tomboy in the mirror had to cut some people off. Jealousy's almost drowned me. A support group, be positive all around me. Looking for luck, I'm getting money when they found me. Playing with that Iron Man, no Robert Downey. Flow disgusting like sandwiches in the county. I was there, learned 50 ways to cook top ramen. Hit rock bottom, thought about suiciding and stop rhyming. Now my stock climbing like cheap dinner work. Always saw the silver lining. Let me remind them, my sword say cook up souffle. They say luck you next up. I caught the bouquet. Gold made between these legs, treated like a buffet. LL but no Cool J. I get drunk then voulez-vous.
Wow. Crazy.
Thank you, sir.
What was you thinking about when you said that? Like just starting it off like that, starting it off so hungry.
I don't know. I'm a fan of hip hop. I guess somebody was wearing a Locks hat or something. You know what I mean? I think it was like watching the clip from Envy and one of them, or somebody had on the Locks hat, and you just take the line from there, you know? Or maybe because I was rapping on the beat, you know what I mean? So it was fun.
Kim is on that, but she's just on the hook, right?
Right. That was so mean when it came out. So
mean. DMX.
So
I went by the video set that day.
Nice.
Remember when DMX is starting the slipping, falling video, and he's on the steps,
and
there's leaves going. That's me. Like I'm holding the leaves to the fan. I had to pick them all up
and do it again.
Yo, and I'm like, it's hip hop, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? I was there, son. Yo, one cool thing about that video, I had to hold the sign. The director made me hold the sign up, and he was like, yo, hold the sign, you know, for people in the background saying y'all niggas ain't gonna get no money from this. And DMX got mad. He was like, what is that? And I go, well, they told me. He go, I know what it is, but like, if these niggas out here in Yonkers could afford a lawyer to sue me, they deserve the money. That's crazy. He said that if they could go and get a lawyer to sue me for being in their music video, go pay them. You got any DMX stories? Shouts to DMX.
Oh man. Okay, so which one? First of all, he's an amazing, amazing human being. I want to say that. And you know, it's certain people who never switched up on me, no matter where I was in my career. You know, yourself, Method Man, you know what I'm saying? And DMX is one. So when I was on Def Jam, we flew up to California, we flew up to Canada when they was filming one of the movies. On the way to the club, Method Man, I guess I was a little talkative or whatever like that. And he was telling me, you know, he was telling me people like, you know, when you're quiet and shit like that, you know, whatever like that, whatever. He came to my room. Can I tell you the full story? Just real quick? So we fly there. I'll skip certain parts, but we'll fly there. And Meth said when we got to the hotel, look, I'm gonna come to your room. And I was like, no, you're not. So he left and I went to the bathroom. So he knocks on the door and he really came to smoke. So he came in the room. He said, look, you taking the shit? I was like, no. He was like, yes, you was. So he got me so high. We smoking. And he told me so much information, I'm telling you, but I was so high, I could only remember bits and pieces. So, you know what I'm saying? Boom, get dressed. We go to the club. Now we in the club, they passing these amazing blunts around again. I'm smoking. So now we go outside. It's all of the same trucks. Everybody came in these Suburbans. So I get in the one closest to the door. Method Man hops in the front seat. So I know I'm in the right car. DMX hops in the driver's seat. He turned around. Yo, he turned around. He go, okay. And then he pull out, right? Yo, he had a white man driving in front of him because he drives with the pedal to the very floor. I was in the back seat scared for my life. I'd have been in the car with people who drive fast, but this man literally was driving with the pedal to the floor, literally. And the man was in front of him flashing his lights and making sure that people moved out of the way. It's a great experience. So now we get back to the mansion and they pass me the blunt. I'm smoking again. I can't speak. I'm paralyzed at this point. So he playing his album. Method Man playing his album. X turned around and he was like, yo, you know what I'm saying? You keep it quiet. Ooh, 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 ooh. I like that. Meth was like this. But meanwhile, these niggas know I can't say shit. But you know, that was a fun scenario. But I got footage of X. Like X was just an incredible.
No, he's an amazing man, and just we hear stories about him even to this day. And people are just like telling great stories of just meeting him and who he was. I actually got stuck in the elevator with Red and Meth, and a couple of fans randomly.
Amazing.
Stuck in the elevator for a whole good 20 minutes in San Francisco after a show. You were there, and that's why I got you on the show, because you were, and I want you on the show more, like, you know, just chopping it up with me on That's a Bar, because it's important. 10 years from now, I feel like, you know, you could teach a master's class. You've been in it so long, you know what I'm saying, could get back to, you know, get to the Professor Lux, You know what I'm saying? Lux be a lady. No,
Tonight.
I love Lady Luck because she's always been there for me, and she's always been the type of person that cared about our culture and our people, you know. And so, like, just keep rocking. I can't wait to hear more music and just, you know, more freestyles like that where you're just honest, open, and raw. Pull your pistol out and just start firing. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Because it's just one life, and we here, you know, to spend it happily.
And I
Actually,
saw
fuck happiness, because happiness is just what's happening. It's more like love.
it's a
It's only
pursuit.
love. It's only love and fear. You know what I'm
It's,
saying?
it's a pursuit. You're allowed life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness because
Oh, the journey.
yeah, because you'll never obtain it. The skinny people want to be fat. The fat people want to be skinny. The long hair wants short. The short want long. Nobody's happy. You get what I'm saying? So it's an illusion. We growing mushrooms, exotic mushrooms. But would you look at this beauty? Oh man! And everybody didn't even start growing yet. I'ma chill on the humidity for the day. I really want to break that off. We got lion's mane. We got blue oyster Italian.
Your crowns. You sell
We got
crowns.
crowns. We just sent one over to to Dubai to one of the stars in Africa, South Africa. We was in the museum with the hip hop exhibit for 6 months. We did the crown for Slick Rick. The Grammy Museum was out there. So we working. We got that.
You
We
gotta
got
get one to Ti.
okay. We'll make it happen. I get in touch with we gave one to Monique. We went to Monique's show. Shout out to
Definitely.
Monique. She's a sweetheart, absolute sweetheart. Shout out to her. So yeah, we getting around.
Do you plan on ever getting back in the battle ring, or you just want to just like chill?
Nah, I feel like I did shrooms one time, right?
Mm-hmm.
And one of my visions was we poison in the water. So it was like nighttime, right? And it was me and a bunch of people, and we just pouring poison into the water. But when I looked up, the water was going back to where we live. So now my new mission is to clean up at least the mess that I made. Because as much as we love our culture and as much as we love where we've come and where we are, we need to grow up. And we need to stop poisoning our people. And that's my new mission. Yo, there's dope channels right now on YouTube that we about to come up with just positive affirmation music. It sounds corny, but when you're doing it dope, because my nephew, he was like, oh, that sounds corny. But then when I showed it to him, you understand what I'm saying? It's time that we start watching what we sing and what our song is, because music is way more important to us as a people and as a culture than what we know. You get what I'm saying? So we gotta be responsible now.
One song that's it's not a Lauryn Hill verse, but it's a Lauryn Hill bar, and she says, "You let go, and I'll let go too." You know, and
What are you talking about? That's my shit.
I think that bar is just exactly here too. It's like the moment our young people just see affirmations as normal, then they only know that language. They don't know any other language.
And we gotta take back our culture, because they'll tell you that's what you wanted to hear. That's what we're giving the people what they want to hear. But then there's people who are now a part of the culture telling you what you want to hear. I found out that in the 70s, majority of like the language, like jive turkey and all that, that's from them. They put that in the black exploitation movies, and that became part of the. So it's just about a lot of awakening right now. You know what I mean? It's just about getting home right. I don't care what nobody else is doing in their homes. I just feel like it's time that we get our village together.
Well, we need you to speak up too. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes they'll put somebody there that diffuses the real, because the real can't be able to just be like, nah, Lizzo ain't it. You know, I remember she came up and she's like, I have the best rap song. And like, or I guess because of the numbers or whatever, and how they were calling it and how they were. Now you could like Lizzo as an entertainer. It could be entertainment. And you could like her music. When it comes out and she's like, I'm #1 rap song, there's nobody going, slow down. You know what I'm saying? Like Lady London's over there. There's other people over here like, slow down. This is We understand the numbers game.
Music rap. Lizzo's calling her music rap.
Lizzo's last project, she had woke up one day and she was like, she was just excited, right? She was like, I have the #1 rap song in the world right now. And I was just like,
but why would she say that? Was it on the rap chart? Because
yeah.
You know, okay. Well then, I mean, they chart our music incorrectly.
And I think once we start there, as far as from female rap side and the categories and how to really have the algorithm be able to go to a Nicki Minaj record after this record or that, because Nicki has some gutter shit too, right? She has some shit where it's like it's not just pop. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of pop records, but there's records where she's just borrowing it out on Queen and stuff like that. And I feel like when we get, or like Seeing Green is just like something that should come on the algorithm of Griselda as well. You know what I'm saying? The conversation on how things are charted is probably what's hurting that idea and not allowing us to get to the dope and into what could be possible. And I can't wait to hear your project. I can't wait to hear how positive it is, because it's needed. I got a daughter and I want my daughter to look up to somebody that's skillful. It has nothing to do with, to me, has anything to do with the rigmarole of what they're trying to sell us, Coca-Cola and McDonald's. You've always been on that. You've always been on a health tip. You've always been on a spiritual trip for us, and you take us wherever you go as well. So I wish you all the lady luck in the world.
Thank you, and I appreciate that.
Thank you so much for being on That's Bar.
I love you, my brother.
I love you. Talk to you soon. Jersey.
In the building.
Jersey.
All right, y'all.
Peace.
We're a whole entity. Came through a sweater on my entity. I'ma keep sketching heaven off memory. I was there yesterday, it was heavenly. I'm okay with raising all of y'all apparently. Life ain't fair, so they claiming Pharisees. Over my career, exposure wasn't resi me.
What's up, guys? This is Albe Back, and this is That's a Bar podcast. You are rocking with us. You are believing in the believables that we can achieve real rap, real music, real poetry. Again, I believe it too, and you're going to get a lot of that right here on That's a Bar podcast. So subscribe, follow, believe with the believables. We believe that we can do this. You already know That's a Bar. The believables, that's a bar.